everybody, JC here with another TNINews video. And today I'm joined by Salome, and we've got a lot of things to cover. I know it's been a little while since I did my last news video. I took a little bit of time off with Thanksgiving and everything. Things had slowed down a bit. Also had some projects to get done around the house. But definitely have a lot of things to cover, including some new Marvel Legend reveals that we're going to go over. Some stuff on the G.I. Joe Classified front, DC Multiverse, Transformers. So let's just jump right into it. Salome's ready. And let's start off with a little bit of news on the McFarlane Toys front. So McFarlane Toys has revealed some things for Mortal Kombat this week. So 2 new figures that are coming. They're going to be doing the character Cabal. Both of these characters are based on the Mortal Kombat 11 version. So Cabal and then the character Noob is also coming. This is essentially the next 2 figures, the next wave of 2 figures. They always seem to release these in 2. So these figures are slated with a release of summer 2021. Right now we just have a couple of images for each of the figures, but more should be probably released in the fairly near future. McFarlane also announced a couple variants. Of course, they always do the variants as well in the Mortal Kombat line. So the Shao Kahn figure is getting a platinum version, and the Kang figure is getting a Fighting Abbott version, which a lot of people seem to think he is way too muscular. So I don't know, I probably kind of agree. And both of these figures are also going to be released next year in the spring of 2021. One final video game figure that McFarlane revealed, and we've seen this, I believe they had this on display a while back at, I want to say maybe Toy Fair last year. But it's the Fortnite 7-inch scale plastic patroller figure. So he comes with the fork with the hot dog. You know, it's an army soldier, all green and everything. So that figure is going to be going up for pre-order, as McFarlane says, very soon. And then finally, thanks to an overseas retailer, Toys Alley, it looks like we're getting our first look at what appears to be a DC Multiverse 7-inch scale Batman Beyond figure. So these guys first showed us images of that gold reverse Flash or Red Death figure, I should say, reverse Red Death figure. So it looks like they've scored another image, and again, looks like it's going to be a Batman Beyond figure. I don't have any additional details on the figure or know of any other figures that are going to be released along with it. I'm hoping for an old man Bruce Wayne. You know, even though this is yet another Batman figure from McFarlane Toys, I think this is probably one that people will be happy with. Now, I don't know if there'll be any additional accessories with the figure. None are shown here. And knowing McFarlane, if there's something like an unmasked head or something, it would probably be released as a variant. Now, just a quick tidbit of news for you guys on the G.I. Joe Classified front. So a while back in September, I think it was, I told you guys how Wave 3 was going to have the Zartan figure, the Cobra Trooper, and then reissues of Scarlet and Roadblock from Wave 1. Now, it wasn't entirely clear if the Scarlet and Roadblock figures would be just straight up exact re-releases or if there would be any slight changes made to them. So we've now gotten official images for the entire wave, and we can see with the Scarlet and Roadblock that there are some slight, and I do use the word slight, paint deco changes. So most notably with Scarlet, they've changed the color of her pants, and then the gold color, essentially the gold colors on the figure have been turned to more of a brown color. And then same thing with Roadblock, they took the red off his gloves, and then the gold portions have now been done with like a dark gray and such. So minor paint redecos. If you already have these figures, I don't really see anything here worth getting them again. If you don't have them, then you will get another chance. But both Scarlet and Roadblock were probably the easiest figures to get in Wave 1. So if you've been collecting this line, I don't see that these were too terribly hard to get figures. But again, they are being reissued in Wave 3, which is going to be out in next year. And then we saw with Wave 4, we saw, you know, the other week, the Flint and the Lady J figures. We're still waiting to get more details of whether the other figures will be Barbecue and Major Blood, as some people are suspecting. But that has by no means been confirmed at this time. Okay, now flipping over to Transformers. So we got the official reveals for the next wave of Kingdom figures. So some images had leaked out of these, and I talked about these in the last news video. But now we've got the official images and details. And these figures are going up for pre-order. I believe they are available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. So the second wave breaks down for the core figures, which are the smallest figures in the line. We're getting Starscream and Megatron. So to go along with the little mini Optimus Prime that we got in wave 1. So 2 G1 characters. Then for the deluxe, we're getting Air Razor, and we're getting Huffer and RC. And Huffer is about 5.5 inches. Now, some of these, like with the G1, I think are essentially kind of reissues. I'd have to go back and check, but I want to say that, like, I know we've recently got a Huffer, but I don't have that one, so I don't know if it's a deluxe size or what. But we've definitely recently had a Huffer figure. This one definitely looks good. I plan on getting it because I did not get the previous Huffer, so this is one I'll definitely get. And you can see with the image on Huffer, you can see him towing Optimus Prime's trailer, the trailer from Wave 1, so that's pretty cool. And also Ractonite, I think is how you pronounce it. It's one of the fossilized figures, so one of the new characters. So you can break them down and make them into like weapon parts and stuff like you did the figures in Wave 1. And for Voyager class, we're getting Dinobot, which is probably the nicest looking figure in my opinion, at least based on these images in the wave. The Beast War figures, I think, definitely are getting more love in this line, this Kingdom line, than the G1. But definitely a Dinobot is a nice looking one. Inferno, which I want to say again we've recently gotten, so I don't know. And then Ultra Magnus, which again I think we've recently gotten, but you can have him without his armor, the all white version. And all of them look good. It's just with some of the G1s, it seems like we've recently gotten those versions. Kind of like within the first wave, like the G1 Prime, which I don't have the Earthrise version, but I think I've seen people say it's essentially the same figure. So nice figures, but if you've got the previous ones, I don't know if there's enough there to warrant getting them again. But these figures are going to be released next year. They're slated for release in April. Okay, and now getting into Marvel. So before we get into the Marvel Legend reveals that were just made this morning, I wanted to share some new updated images from Tomasi Nations on the SH Figure Arts front with these figures based on the first Avengers movie. So we'd seen these figures on display at one of their virtual events this past year. So we've seen these figures, but again, we have more details and images. So, with these, we're getting a new updated Thor, which has a soft goods cape. I believe has a new updated head sculpt, which looks like Chris Hemsworth. And you also get the hammer with the spinning effect, which is nice. So, a nice update to that. And also you get lightning effects that you can, of course, attach to his hammer. Captain America gets an alternate unmasked Steve Rogers head and gets a scratched up shield, recreating how it looked at the end of the movie, the Avengers movie during the Battle of New York. You also get alternate hands. Hulk gets the least amount of accessories. He just gets an extra head and alternate hands. And then Iron Man, he comes with a number of repulsor effects, including the one where he's blasting the side of the big worm creature. I forget the official name of that, but you saw it in the movie. So that I believe that's new. And then you also get some battle damage pieces with his helmet and chest plate so that you can essentially make him look like he's been through a big battle like he did in the movie. So all of these are, except for the Hulk, are due out in April, and the Hulk himself will be out a month later in May of next year. Okay, and then just this morning, Hasbro had their latest live stream video event, this time with the Marvel Legend brand team, and we got some new Marvel Legend reveals. They also gave us better looks at some of the other stuff they had previously announced. So I'm just going to run down it as they kind of revealed it during the panel. So the first thing they announced is a new Deadpool movie figure. This is what they're calling the burn version. It's based on, after his suit kind of got charred at the end of Deadpool 2. So it's a redeco of the previous one that they just released in the 2-pack. And this is going to be offered as an Amazon exclusive. It will be going up for pre-order. Possibly as you're watching this, it's already available. But the official time that it's supposed to be going up is 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So again, that is going to be an Amazon exclusive, a redeco of the Deadpool movie figure. Then they also, for Walgreens, they gave us some updated images for the Fallen Silver Surfer figure that they had announced a couple months ago. This figure is going to be released in early spring of next year. And they also told us that the theme for all the Walgreens exclusives for 2021 are going to be cosmic based. So with the Silver Surfer, he comes with Thor's hammer. It's based on a storyline. and you also get some blast effects and everything. But then the second figure that is coming is going to be a new updated classic Nova figure, Richard Rider classic Nova. So they've done Nova before, but this one, in its more classic look, is definitely kind of nicer looking than the previous one that they had done. And that is going to be released after the Silver Surfer. Now, neither of these figures are going up for pre-order today. They will be going up for pre-order at a later time, but they didn't give any specific details. For the House of X, they revealed the Build-A-Figure. So they had previously announced all the figures, and I had told you what the figures were going to be before that. All turned out to be true. I did not know what the Build-A-Figure was going to be, however, so that was a completely new reveal, and with the Build-A-Figure is going to be the Tri-Sentinel character. So I'm not terribly familiar with this version of Tri-Sentinel, but I'm assuming it's a more modern look, maybe from the House of X storyline. But if you're into the Sentinels, this will be another one to add. If you got the HasLab one and the Bastion and all the others that they've been doing, Omega Sentinels in this wave as well. And then along with the Build-A-Figure, we also got updated looks of the regular figures. So just to go over that, that's going to have the Cyclops figure, which is going to have a optic blast effect, same one that we've seen previously. Jean Grey, which is going to come with the plant, the Karoka. I forget how you pronounce that, but that is something that actually played a significant role in the House of X storyline. So she's going to come with that. Wolverine is going to have two head sculpts, a younger looking one and an older looking head sculpt. Professor X is also going to have two head sculpts. He's going to have the Cerebro helmet head sculpt, and then he's going to have an unhelmeted head sculpt where it looks like he's using his psychic abilities. His eyes are actually closed, and he's got the psychic effect around his head. So that's kind of cool. You're getting Magneto, the white Magneto with alternate hands, and then Omega Sentinel, as I mentioned before, which does have two head sculpts. I know some people were hoping we saw the bald head sculpt previously, and they're also giving us one with the hair and everything. So that one looks good, and if you're into the House of X storyline, I think this is one you're going to want to check out. Now, this entire wave is going up for pre-order. Again, it may already be up as you're watching this, but the official time is 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and this will be available everywhere, so you'll be able to pre-order it at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. The other figure that they announced today, which I told you was coming, is the Modoc Deluxe figure. So this is based on the classic comic, not the video game. I was pretty sure it was comic, but some people were wondering if it would be video game. I think the video game is kind of tanked, so I don't know if we're going to really see any more video game figures from that Avengers game. But this one is classic Deluxe Modoc based on the comic books. And it is going to have a $50 price tag, so it's a hefty size figure and all. Looks nicely detailed. You get alternate faceplates and stuff with it, so kind of cool. And you get cool packaging art and everything. But it is going to have the hefty price tag, as I mentioned before, of $50. And again, like the X-Men wave, that'll be available everywhere, up for pre-order at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, including places like Big Bad Toy Store. Now, they ended the panel by giving us some hints of some other upcoming figures. So one of the things they said is that there are going to be at least a pair of legs for Cannonball. It wasn't entirely clear if it was going to be a brand new Cannonball figure with legs, or if they're just going to find some way of offering the legs to go along with the previous version. I think it's going to be a new Cannonball figure, but it was hard to tell if they were completely joking or what. But definitely for those wanting legs for their Cannonball, that should be coming next year. They also said there's going to be a new sculpted figure for 2021 that will have a tail. My first thing that comes to mind is Squirrel Girl. We just got Squirrel Girl in the Deluxe set with the bike, so I don't know if they would give us another one. Tigra. So I don't know if you've watched any of my live streams, but a couple weeks ago I said I was going to go buy a Tigra figure off eBay because I missed out on the original release. That was one of the original figures that Hasbro did, which actually is not a bad figure, but it was going for a pretty hefty price on the secondary market, and I wanted to round out my West Coast Avenger team. So I broke down and I got that figure, and I said when I was talking about it and thinking about buying it, I said as soon as I get it, and they did the same thing with Jean Grey. I'm sure it's just coincidence, but they did the same thing with the Jim Lee Jean Grey. As soon as I bought the old version that I had missed out on and paid, a hefty price on secondary market, Hasbro goes and reissues it. So I definitely, because I got that Tigra figure, that may be what they're hinting here, is Tigra. I don't have any details, so if it is Tigra, it's probably going to be a store exclusive or something. So I don't know what it is, but if I had to take a guess, Tigra, just because I bought that previous Tigra figure off the secondary market, is who it's going to be. But that was the clue they gave, a new sculpted figure with a tail. And then finally, they gave us a look at their new classic Ultron figure with the very cool mouth effect piece. And everyone, they've given us multiple Ultrons in the past, but never with his classic look. So this, I think, is going to be a must-have. They didn't say how it's going to be released. Now, based on intel that I have, I believe this Ultron figure, is going to be released in a new Iron Man themed wave that is coming out next year. So again, that's based on intel. That's not something Hasbro confirmed in the video, but I have seen listings for an Ultron figure in an Iron Man wave, and I will share more details on that Iron Man wave in the coming future. But I believe that is how Ultron is going to be released. It is going to be a regular release figure, and again, should be in a brand new Iron Man wave for 2021. Okay, so that is it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about. Let me know in the comments section below. I know I say this and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, but I am almost definitely going to be doing a live stream this weekend, probably tomorrow, but maybe Sunday. But and then look for a steady stream of videos coming next week. I've got some stuff. I've got some more Transformer stuff to review. I want to review the Toy Box Iron Man Hall of Armor set. I got that. So I wanted to do a review of that. So hopefully you'll check those out. And then, of course, I'll be doing more news videos and live streams in the coming days as well. But definitely look for a live stream this weekend. We'll possibly talk some more Marvel Legends, some more Marvel Legend rumors, and whatever else happens between now and then. All right, so stay safe out there, guys. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.